Supreme Leader Snoke was established early in the sequel trilogy during the events of the seventh movie in the Skywalker saga, The Force Awakens, as being the overarching and main antagonist of the sequel trilogy. However, this was quickly undone and remedied by the effects of Rian Johnson in the movie The Last Jedi, when he deduced that it would be more unexpected to kill Snoke off with the use of the Skywalker lightsaber and the treachery of Kylo Ren. I am by no means bad-mouthing Rian Johnson here, as I believe The Last Jedi is an incredible movie, despite the failure of Snoke. But what was Snoke, and how was he created on Exegol by the cultists employed by Darth Sidious? Join us, acolytes, as we delve into a shorter video on a Strand-Cast clone. Alternatively known as a Strand-Cast, was an artificially formatted life form genetically engineered through the process known as Strand-Casting, a formation of the cloning that the Kaminoans used to create the clone army, made with the DNA of the bounty hunter Jango Fett, the most legendary and skilled mercenary at the time. After the death of Darth Sidious at the event of the Battle of Endor at the hands of his apprentice Anakin Skywalker, the Sith Lord, utilizing the essence transferability seen so many times in Legends continuity and his Sith Eternal cult, engineered various Strand-Casts on the distant world of Exegol in the unknown regions for the reborn spirit of the Sith Lord, including Supreme Leader Snoke and Dathan, who would go on to be the father of Rey and the son of Palpatine, whereas Snoke was a genetic Strand-Cast who possessed an unusually and innate powerful connection to the Force and an ability to touch the dark side. The father of Rey was an ordinary human, despite being cloned from Sidious's own template, and meant to inhabit and sustain his immense 21,000 midichlorians per cell. His daughter was nonetheless Force-sensitive through her birth as an offspring of the Palpatine bloodline. Strand-Casts were genetically engineered life forms, a type of hybrid clone specimen that was an artificial genetic construct. They were created through a version of cloning process called Strand-Casting, by adding the genes of other specimens to the base template. The original host's genetic code was significantly altered to produce a not quite identical modified clone, otherwise known as Strand-Casts. Despite their origins, Strand-Casts were still capable of exerting free will over their subjects. Using a technique known as Strand-Casting, countless modifying clone bodies were produced from my genetic template. All but one of them were utter failures. The lone survivor of the cloning process, however, lacked any connection to the Force. The analogue that I have just recited came from The Secrets of the Sith novelization, which I believe is an incredible book and one of the greatest Star Wars informative texts to ever live. Strand-Casting was known to cause various genetic flaws, producing defective and unhealthy specimens through trial and error. Consequently, it had a high mortality rate, and nearly all of Darth Sidious's modified clones, despite his dark side powers, failing to survive the cloning process. A significant flaw present in the genetic technology was that using the base template of a Force-sensitive did not necessarily or automatically ensure that the resulting Strand-Cast would inherit its protagonist's connection to the Force, such as Palpatine did with Dathan, his son. Nevertheless, it was possible to deliberately create a Strand-Cast who possessed strong Force powers, such as Snoke. It could also be replicated to create multiple genetic copies. You talk about fear, but even now you forget where it all begins. With pain, the scalpel of creation. I used it to make all of these things. I can use it to make anything. Such words were uttered by Sheev Palpatine to his apprentice Darth Vader upon discovering Exegol. Strand-Casts were grown in gene farms, the Sith Citadel present on Exegol, an ancient stronghold steeped in the dark side of the Force, present in the unknown regions, housed several vats of Strand-Casts created through the experimentations of Darth Sidious, the Sith Lord who ruled and governed the galaxy as Galactic Emperor Sheev Palpatine, having long coveted the ability of immortality, an ability that his own master Darth Plagueis had been nigh so close to achieving, but was killed before he had the chance. The Emperor sought to transfer his consciousness to a new body in the event of his death in the original body. The artificial specimens that he created lived in a state of intense and undying agony. around 3 or 4 ABY. Sidious's program was discovered by a Sith apprentice, Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader. Although Vader defeated a cicada of his Sith Master's creations, Sidious maintained that any of them would be capable of replacing his apprentice at any time. Around 9 BBY, the Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin became the caretaker of Grogu, a mysterious alien foundling who was strong with the Force like his predecessor in Yoda. Din Djarin believed the child could possibly be a Strand-Cast of Yoda. Quill and Ugnaught, who worked in gene farms, thought that Grogu looked too evolved and too ugly to be a genetic construct of the Grand Master. Well, students of the Force, I hope you are thoroughly entertained and learn something new in the embrace of knowledge that our channel provides. Be sure to scour our channel's archives for more videos about clones, Snoke, the Sith, the Jedi, and many other ideologies. I have recently released videos that cover the new trailers for Tales of the Jedi and Andor, as well as Mandalorian Season 3. And I heavily suggest informing yourself on the new Star Wars projects releasing later this year and into early 2023. Goodbye, students and acolytes of the Force, and I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away.